Theresa May has said that her government is preparing to go it alone by launching Britain's own satellite program, after admitting that talks with the European Commission on resolving the impasse on Galileo had run into difficulties. Theresa May today declared that Britain is more than capable of going it alone with its own satellite program after Brexit. The Prime Minister told MPs at the Westminster Liaison Committee that discussions with the European Commission continue to run into difficulties. She did not appear hopeful that negotiations on Britain's involvement in the Galileo space program would be resolved, and said that Britain was preparing to go it alone. Liberal Democrat MP Norman Lamb challenged the British leader for an update on the Galileo talks, adding that a lot of jobs are at stake here. The uproar over the Galileo program erupted when the EU claimed it would no longer be appropriate for the UK to work on the satellite program after Brexit. This exclusion enraged Brexiteers since British taxpayers have already contributed £1 billion towards the £8.50 billion costs. Mrs May responded to Mr Lamb, "We continue to have difficulties with Galileo and we continue to talks with the Commission about that. Alongside that, we are looking to see if we cannot be a member of Galileo as we believe we should be and is important for our participation. We are looking at taking a project ourselves and going it alone and not being a part of Galileo." Mrs May's remarks about building Britain's own satellite program comes just days after the government announced the country was entering a new space age. In response to the Galileo snub, British company Orbex announced this week that they develop its prime program to launch small satellites. Chris Lama, CEO of Orbex, said the recent investment would transform the UK into an important hub for commercial space launch operations. A grant of £2.50 million has also been awarded to Highlands and Islands Enterprise to develop the vertical launch spaceboat, with an additional £2 million development for horizontal spaceports in Cornwall, Glasgow, Prestwick and Snowdonia. Business Secretary Greg Clark said Britain's involvement in landmark space projects could give the country's economy a £4 billion boost after Brexit. Mr Clark told the Farnborough Show this week, "As a nation of innovators and entrepreneurs, we want Britain to be the first place in mainland Europe to launch satellites as part of our industrial strategy. This will build on our global reputation for manufacturing small satellites and help the whole country capitalize on the huge potential of the commercial space age." Chris Grayling, Secretary of State for Transport, added, "The UK space sector is thriving and satellite benefits our lives every day, from banking to transport, and agriculture to entertainment.